That's hot.
Having the iconic Beverly Hills Hotel wallpaper at your house. That's hot.
Having a view of graffiti and garbage dumpsters from your bed. That's hot.
Having a homeless encampment DJ right outside your bedroom window. That's hot. It's here for the hang. It's my show. It's about comedians. You should know. It's all shot, all on Zoom. Just another piece of content to consume. It's here for the hang. What's up, Hang Gang? Long time no see, and I'm here with my guest today, Mr. Alex Hooper.
Where is he? Oh, there he is. Hello.
Hi. And we had a cameo by your beloved
That was
pug.
Kimchi. That was my rescued Korean pug, Kimchi.
Oh, Kimchi's so cute. I've seen you guys at Runyon Canyon before. You have two, right?
I have two, yeah, actually. So Kimchi doesn't go to Runyon. She's a little older. Carlton, my younger guy, he will run up that mountain all day. I call him my personal trainer. He just keeps me going the whole time.
We love it. Well, thank you for ushering in the very first time that we did the theme song. So Kimchi will always go down in history for that.
I love it. And I think you should sing the intro every time. You have a wonderful voice. It's very soothing. I think it's a really good way to get people in the mood for this podcast.
Yes. I love to sing. I'm not great at it, but I do love it. So I wanted to get you on here to talk about, I'm sure everybody clicked on this because they know you from America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
And that is so exciting. So I want to hear the whole journey because, forgive me to your fan base, I was only aware of the most recent time. I didn't know this was an ongoing thing until I've done a deep dive, and now I'm like, yes. So how did it first come about for you?
So the initial one, they recruited some people from Roast Battle. They showed up to Roast Battle and they were like watching the show, and they picked a few of us in the community to come and audition. And I was talking to the producers. I was like, you guys, you're watching this and you think it's right for America's Got Talent? What am I missing here? And they're like, look, we want to do it. Do you want to try it or not? And I kind of thought, like, I've been roasting as these characters for a little while and doing these very outlandish performances wearing like unitards and tails and fur coats and things like that. So I just thought, like, if I'm going to do it, I want to do it my way.
Yeah.
And I showed them a video of me doing it and they were all about it. And then it just became, I mean, the very first audition in 2018 was just the most insane performing experience I ever have in my life.
Was that video clean? I have to ask because that's the hardest thing, right? Roast Battle is not. So like, was the initial video that you sent him, was it like TV friendly material then?
No, I mean, well, I sent them a video of me on Comedy Central of me, one of my clips doing it, which was definitely not like clean.
Right.
It was pretty offensive and pretty out there. But then I sent them a video of me of like what kind of jokes I would do for the judges specifically. So then they got a little taste of what I would do if I was doing it in a more family friendly format.
Right, which I think is the hardest thing to do. I mean, I struggle with that so much to clean it up.
Oh, yeah.
And for TV, you have to. I mean, how far can you even go on AGT? Like, what were the rules?
Oh, there's a laundry list of things. And I would fight if I really believed in something. Like, obviously, you got to keep the language at bay. You can't really do too many like innuendos or anything like that. Like, you really have to keep it clean to an extent, but that's the hardest thing is like, how do you write a caustic roast joke?
Yeah, how are you mean and clean? That's the hardest thing, mean and clean.
100%. And that was my challenge every single time I've done the show, is how do I write these jokes that are like scathing insults, however, are totally okay if a 7-year-old is watching at home in Montgomery, Alabama.
Yeah.
So that became such a challenge. And then that first one, I was so ready for that first performance, like when the one from 2018. And I really didn't think it was going to go well. Like, I was like, they're not going to like me. They're not going to like me. And then my fiance, my girlfriend at the time, she was like, Alex, like, what's going on with you? You never go into a performance thinking that they're not going to like you. Like, that's not a way you feel. Like, be positive.
Yeah, but there's
right?
a literal panel of judges who are superstars. I mean, that is nerve-wracking. You've got,
Yes.
I mean, the first time, just Simon Cowell alone, he terrifies me. So
Yeah.
you've got him. Name the first panel compared to the second, because the second I feel
So-
like was easier, like
Yeah, so-
niceness-wise.
The first one was, the host was Tyra Banks, and then it was Howie Mandel, Mel B from the Spice Girls, Heidi Klum, and Simon Cowell. And I was most terrified of Simon Cowell. I thought,
Yeah.
Howie's a comedian, he'll get it. Simon is going to rip me to shreds, and I don't know what Heidi and Mel are going to think, and Tyra are going to think of this. And as it turned out, I was completely wrong, and every single way that I judged what was going to happen in that performance, I was annihilated on that stage. 3,000 people let them know how much they hated me for 7 straight minutes.
Do you think that back then people didn't understand the roast culture the way that they do now? I think that they really thought you were being mean, you know?
Yes and no. I think a lot of people, I think I really did a bait and switch with them, because I came out and I said I want to inspire the world through happiness, positivity, and comedy,
Right.
which, as you know, is my vibe. Like,
Yeah.
that's my demeanor. I'm very optimistic. I'm very just like, I'm always in a good mood. And so saying that was not a lie. But then the way I approached the roasting from that point on, which is also very much in my wheelhouse, I just think they weren't ready for it. And the judges were so taken aback that the audience then hated me. There was also, and I've talked to a couple people that were there that day, the warm-up guy that day apparently was egging people on to go nuts. He was really apparently like, make this one as loud as you possibly can.
Oh.
So by the time I got out there, like, initially, the whole room, when I said the happiness, positive, and comedy, the whole room is like, yeah! And like, all the judges were like, this is going to be great. We're really excited about this.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I burned Tyra, it was like, oh, silence in the room. The silence
You
only
went after
lasted
the
a few
queen
moments.
bee. That
Oh,
was your
yeah.
first.
I had to. And as soon as the silence was like, it was sitting in it for a few moments, that's when the booing and all the screaming started. Like,
So do you
and then
blame the warm-up guy? You probably
No,
know
I
him
don't-
too.
I don't blame anybody. I mean, I honestly, because here's the thing about that performance. Because I was able to hold my own, and because I never broke character or like strayed from what I was doing, that's the reason why that clip went so viral, and the reason why so many people now know who I am is because
You held your
it
ground.
I held my, exactly. It was very purposeful. And that's one thing I told myself before I go out there. I was like, no matter what happens, if I don't break, they can't hurt me in the edit. Like, and that's
See,
what I was
didn't
most
even
worried
know that one happened. I only knew about this more recent one when you killed. But hang on, we'll get to that in a minute. What did it feel like when they booed? You said you held your own. Like, because look, I could come to this moment. It's any day. Like, I've bombed before. I get it, but not
Sure.
to that degree. You know, bombing at a bar show is very different than bombing on the AGT stage. I mean, did you feel like you just, what did you do?
I mean, every single part of me inside was on fire. Like literally, you're on one of the biggest TV shows in the world. I'm in the biggest crowd I've ever been in front of. I've never performed for 3,000 people before. And now I'm dealing with the fact that I can't even hear my own thoughts because not only can I hear everybody, they keep the lights on in the theater so you can see everybody. And they weren't only just screaming, they were all putting their arms up, making X's to try to get more ads.
And you just have nightmares about that now.
Oh, it's brutal.
Anytime your snooze goes off and it's like, you're like, it's God. Again. Oh.
Seriously, Carlisle, you have no idea. The sound of those buzzers will send a shock through your entire system. It is so loud, and then you're
never going to go on Family Feud. I mean, too much PTSD.
No, never. Plus, my family would be terrible at that game. They're too Jewish to do well on that game.
So that one they booed. But you held your own, and then why did they want to have you back after that? Because they knew that you did well.
Yes. Well, that's the end. So the producers really liked me and they really respected what I did and basically how well I did it, because a lot of people would have been completely shaken in that environment and would have just broken down and not been able to like hold their own and keep kind of just like flipping them off to the audience while it was happening.
You're professional.
Yeah, very much.
You didn't do the thing that the amateurs do at the open mic when they go, "Oh, what's wrong with you guys? Oh, you didn't get it? You didn't get the fucking joke?" It's like, no, buddy, you never want to do that. You don't want to be that guy.
There was no winning. There was only survival, and that's what it was. It's just like I need to get through this, and you're supposed to be on stage for 2 minutes. I was on stage for 7 because it was so loud that they couldn't control the audience, and Simon refused to press his button because he was entertained by what I was doing.
Oh my goodness.
By my squeamish behavior up there. But the reason they had me back is because the clip did so well. Like overall it has, I think, around 80 million views across like YouTube.
Whoa.
And so I pitched it to them. I was like, guys, what if I came back and apologized for what I did, but then just did it again? And the producers were instantly like,
bigger and better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were like, yes, let's do it. So that's what a lot of people think, that like they called me. I went to them. I was like,
I love
look,
that.
I was like, how do I get back on TV? Go back to the table that fed you the first time and see if there's anything left. And sure enough, then this year, I really went into that thinking like, they know who I am now. They're going to respect what I'm going to do, and it will go well. And it did. Granted, I didn't have an audience that time because we shot that on March 14th of 2020.
Right at the beginning of all this.
Yeah.
Well, you had the people
that night,
on the screens?
Happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the very first one, no. The very first one, I'm in that same theater in Pasadena, the Pasadena Civic Center, same 3,000 seat hall, I'm only looking at 3 people, right?
Weird.
And the only people, and I'm 100 feet away from them, and it's now Howie and an empty chair because Heidi was sick, Sofia Vergara, and Simon again. And this time, they got it immediately, and they were celebrating it, and they were laughing. And I mean, Sofia, they cut all my jokes from her, but she was cracking up, and she said, she's like, I want you to come back and destroy me. Yeah, and she was, I mean, and the thing is, like, I have so much respect and reverence for these people. They are iconic figures. Like, they're more than just celebrities. These
oh my God, yeah.
Truly, like, moguls at what they do.
That's
and
right.
Sofia Vergara especially is like, what a queen. I mean, I love her so much. And to get the chance to say these things to her face and like rip her apart, I know she knew it was all in good fun, but especially in the final performance, she definitely played it up a little like, okay, I'm going to be offended by this now.
Yeah.
Like, you're going a little far with
she
these things.
she had cute faces, but I was like, where would you even go with her? Because she's just so beautiful and so perfect. I was like, where is he going to take this one? And I
And
love
you know
where you
what?
took
And
it.
some of my favorite, because I had to go back and forth with producers for months over what I was allowed to say and what I could get away with. I was constantly writing jokes, coming up with new ideas of how to present them. And it was so much work. And actually, like, COVID kind of helped with that because I didn't have anything else to do. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I can just go make this as,
You
grand as
just
I
fully
want.
went into that.
Yeah, definitely. But that's the thing is, like, some of the
I
jokes I
love
said
it.
were so mean, and some of the jokes I was pitching were so much better and not as biting. And they were
Right.
like, "Ooh, I don't know if we can say Colombia has cocaine, Alex." And I'm just like, what? I think everybody
That would
knows.
have been a
Like,
good one. Yeah.
oh,
Everybody
I'll tell you what
knows.
the joke was. The joke was, Sophia, I loved your soda commercials. That's no joke. But I was surprised it was Pepsi since most Colombians sell Coke. And I was like,
So
I was
good.
telling, I like begged the executive producer of the show. I was like, this will break the internet. This is the joke
Yes.
that everyone will talk
Look,
about.
even
He's
if
like,
you were a kid, they're always worried about kids like asking their parents. That's one that you could push off as like, yeah, Coke, like Coca-Cola,
exactly.
It's
It was
totally clean.
and instead they were like, you're stereotyping an entire country. I was like, so instead
Yeah.
you're gonna let me make fun of
2020.
this gorgeous woman for her
Yeah.
face? Like,
Yeah.
what is
No, that's fine,
happening?
Alex. They'll do that all day long on network TV. But
Apparently so.
I really, you said these people are icons and you are on that trajectory to be of this mindset to will all this into existence. I mean, I didn't know that you reach out to them and like have kept this ball rolling. That's so inspiring to me, and that's like why I'm doing this show during
Yeah.
COVID when we've kind of like in a way we've been made powerless because like stand up's been taken away in the entertainment industry. But you can look at it like that, or you can be positive and be like, well, now we have all the power. Now we create our
Certainly.
own content. Now we create our own momentum. Because as we've just learned through this lockdown, you can't rely on the momentum of the entertainment industry. I mean,
Definitely not.
I'm sure you had a different 2020 planned, as did I.
Yeah.
And it's humbling, but I'm just trying to keep it positive and do my own thing. So I love hearing that story. And
That's the
speaking
best
of,
thing. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. I was
I
going to say,
was
like, real quick, like, I don't like when people say this year's on pause.
yeah,
Like,
no,
it's
I don't
not.
either. It's not.
We're all getting older. We're
Yeah,
all deteriorating. Like, this year is not on pause, and it's up to us to make something happen. Even if it wasn't part of our initial plan, we need to pivot and we need to adapt to what's happening. And, I was lucky enough to get to do that this year. So,
well, I was gonna say, segue into your new project, which is what you wanted to come on and talk about. So tell us about that.
Obviously, like you just said, plans were totally scrapped this year. I was supposed to
Mm-hmm.
record my new album in April. That obviously didn't happen. And I was going to record a special at a music festival
Oh,
in
cool.
September. I was going to do an outdoor music festival comedy special.
Where?
So,
Which one?
my friend, a festival called Camp Trip. It's a very small one. My friends run.
Oh,
It's only
cool.
about 500 people. So it would have been like perfect for what I
Of
needed
course,
because it would
Alex
have,
Hooper knows about all of the music festivals, like
well,
the niche music festivals. You know about the
yeah.
boutique festivals that I don't know
For
about.
sure. There's so many. And it was easier to pick a small one that my friends run if I was going to do something like
Yeah,
this, because
do it
then I'll
your
have to
way.
jump through all these hoops of, like, talking to a bigger corporation about bringing in cameras and things like that. But
Totally.
my whole idea was of, like, outdoors at a music festival, under a tent, rainbow lights, everyone in costumes and fur coats in the audience, and like laying on the ground
Yes.
just vibing. And I
Everybody
was
dressed
so
like you.
excited. Basically, I mean, but out
I
there
would
they're not
love to
dressed
go
like
to
me,
that.
they're dressed like them.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's really where my fashion inspiration comes from, is music festivals and just
To
the freedom
I
to
love that.
create whatever you want to be. But so we realized that couldn't happen, my friend, last year I went to London to do a bunch of shows, and a couple friends came with me, and one of them is a filmmaker, and he just filmed every set and was filming all this B-roll footage of us running around the city, and he was going to make like a 10-minute little proof of concept so we could sell the comedy special for the music festival to show like what kind of style we were going to work with. And he realized that we can just make this its own thing. And so what came out of it is this half-hour special that's basically a part comedy special, part tour documentary, and part travel log of three people going to a city that we've never been to and trying to learn how to do comedy within it as well. And it's basically like, so you know when you watch like a band, like a tour documentary, and like you'll see them on stage, they start playing a song, but then the song keeps playing, but now you're watching them on a tour bus, traveling to the next city, stopping to sign autographs, eating food, but the song is still playing. That's what we did with this special. So you're constantly listening to my jokes, but you're only watching me on stage for maybe 20 to 25% of it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like a special hybrid documentary type of thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And it really became, we didn't know what it was going to be when we started making it. And what it turned into was so much better than I ever could have imagined it would be. And so now we have this great thing, and we know exactly, because we made this, we know exactly how we want to film the next special that we want to do. But what I think people are going to get out of this is like, it's just a very unique way to put something together like this. I think it moves
because
really well.
Comedians live like rock stars. So you can do this style of documentary just like that, or this special, just like your band, because you're living that on the road life. I mean, who doesn't want to go on a trip with Alex Hooper?
I can tell you a few people who don't, but
what are
I'm
the different
Carlisle.
You seem like it. No, we love it. We love to see it. But what are the different towns, or what is the town where you shot all this in?
So it's all London, but I did 12 shows over the course of 5 days, and it's a bunch of set. It's a bunch of chopped up sets from all over, from a bunch of different clubs, and it really I mean, I don't have to tell you this. Comedy specials will never capture what happens in the room. And as comedians, because we get to be privy to watching these amazing sets live, whenever we put on a special, it just doesn't seem like it's that great anymore. There's nothing that exciting happening, even if the person's killing. So this, when I watched, I was like, this is so much more entertaining than just watching me do a half hour of jokes on one stage. This is so much more visually pleasing, and there's so many more elements. You get to really know who I am because there's so many shots. You get the
energy. You get your vibe. Yeah.
And I'll tell you how I knew I had something special is I have watched this thing a lot, and I don't hate it. And if you can watch something that you did and enjoy it, I feel like, wow, then other people, I hope, are really going to like this thing. Because normally I'd be the most critical person, but this thing, I'm just like, I can't wait for people to see it.
And what is the title of it? Do we know yet? Can we say?
Yes, it is called When Does the Club Shut? Because it's based on me running from spot to spot through the city, trying to make as many shows as I can. So it's basically just like, what time is it? 8:53? What time's the club shut? Okay, we got to run right now.
Love that, yes.
And it's also a really stupid electronic song that we would listen to a lot in when we were over there. There's this song called Ante Up, and literally the lyrics are, when does the club shut? All I want is pizza. God, I'm really drunk. When does the club shut? So my friend named it that, and I was like, that's perfect. You nailed it.
That fits it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, everybody look out for When Does the Club Shut with Alex
November
Hooper.
19th, 7 p.m. on YouTube, everybody.
Awesome.
My YouTube channel.
Right here where you find this show. This is perfect timing.
Yeah.
And look for you on all the things. Harry Hoopin. I'm gonna what is it?
Hooper Hair Puff.
Hooper Hair Puff. Very good follow. You are on Twitter, Instagram. It's the same, right? So everybody go follow this man. And any closing words for us?
I just want to say thank you so much, Carlisle, for having
Thank
me.
you.
And everyone, the world is not on pause. Go tell someone that you love them. Go do something kind for someone.
Yes.
Keep a gratitude list. The world will come back eventually. But right now, we just need to be nice to each other and ride this baby out. And remember to have fun.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much, Alex, for being here for the hang.
Thank you.